Remember that night? The one where you hit the ground. The one where the referee counted and you could not get up.
The one where they raised someone else's hand and you walked back to the locker room alone.
You have played it 1,000 times since then. What if I had trained harder? What if I had seen it coming? What if I had just stayed up? But here is what you have been missing. The loss was not the end. The loss was the autopsy. For the first time in your life, you got to see yourself completely exposed. No armor, no excuses, no lucky breaks. Just you on the floor, looking up. And in that moment, when everything fell apart, you finally saw what you were made of. Not the highlight reel, not the social media version. The real you. And the real you was still breathing. A broken sword tears the blacksmith more than a perfect one ever could. The perfect sword hides its weaknesses. The broken sword reveals them. Here is where the metal was too thin. Here is where the heat was uneven. Here is where I rushed. The loss is not a verdict. It is a diagnosis. You lost because something in you was not ready. Not because you are weak. Not because you do not deserve to win. Because the part of you that needed to grow was still hiding. And the loss dragged it into the light. Now you see it. Now you know its name. Now you can fix it. The fighter who never falls never knows where the flaw is. But and knowing where the flaw is how you learn to fly. This car, I got it the night I lost. Not from the fight. From after. From walking home in the rain. From punching the wall I should have walked past. From bleeding onto a sidewalk that did not care. I hated this car for years. I hid it. I made up stories about it. I told people it was an accident. But here is the truth. This car is not a reminder of where I lost. It is a map of where I grew. Every time I look at it, I remember the rain. I remember the wall. I remember the version of me who did not know how to lose. And then I remember the version who walked home anyway, who showed up to practice the next morning, who got back in the ring. The scar does not mean I am broken. The scar means I am still here. And still here is not the same as defeated. There is an ancient art called alchemy. The alchemist takes the darkest thing he can find, lead, coal, dirt, and tries to turn it into gold. Most people think alchemy is magic. But alchemy is just attention. You take the thing everyone else throws away. You study it. You sit with it. You put it in the fire. And eventually, if you stay with it long enough, it transforms. Your loss is your lead. The night you fell, the game you lost, the person who walked away, that is your raw material. You can spend the rest of your life pretending it did not happen. Or you can put it in the fire. You can let it burn until it becomes gold. Not in spite of the loss. Because of it. Because now you know. Now you see. Now you are ready. The person who has never lost has nothing to alchemize. But you are sitting on a mountain of gold. You just have not refined it yet. One day you will look back at that loss and you will not feel shame. You will not feel regret. You will feel gratitude. Because that loss taught you something no victory ever could. It taught you how to get up. It taught you where you were weak. It taught you what you are actually made of.